There's a famous quote from the early 100 BC era. You should not live one way in private and one way another in public. This quote is very significant to our generation today, actually. When first thinking about it, the first thing that comes to my mind is social media and how you cannot live one way online and one way in person. You cannot put in a front like most people tend to do with social media, and go out in public and live a different life. You shouldn't do that because it just makes you unhappy and makes you not know who you are as a person. And I think for yourself, you should know who you are as a person and not try and put on a front for not even just social media, but for anybody or anything. You should have a relationship with yourself and not feel like you have to live two different lives and have one public and one private, because in the end, it could be very bad for you. This can also not just be social media, but also example with your family. Sometimes you can tend to be mean at home and unhappy at home and where you are at home, and then go out and be a completely different person, and you can be happy and talk about how great your life at home is. And you can see that in many people tend to do that is living two different lives. One is private and one is clearly very public. You put on a front and it's not good for somebody. You cannot live happy somewhere and then live miserable somewhere else. It doesn't help you find yourself and makes you seem like you don't know who you are as a person. I personally see this the biggest though on social media, especially with celebrities. You tend to want to put on a front and tend to want to show off that you did this and this and this, but then at home you're secretly extremely unhappy. And the same goes with relationships. You can go out there and express to people how happy you are in a very healthy relationship, but you and the person you are with, your significant other, know that it is not a healthy relationship and you are not happy, but you want to be private about that, so you put on a front that you live a happy life with them. You cannot have two different lives. You cannot live one happy and one sad, and then when talking about it, flip it to make it all seem happy. You living a private life can definitely make you sad as a person, and for the public, putting on a front is not the smartest idea to do. Many people have talked about this, especially, like I said, with social media and celebrities. Many people, even that you see on social media today, aren't happy and they just put on a front to the public. But in private, they're very, very unhappy and they are not happy with their life, with themselves, and anything regarding their day-to-day lives. But for social media, they put on a happy front, and it can really be upsetting to people because you're putting on a fake persona that you are happy with the way you are living, and people see that and then get the impression that it's okay to be happy in public, but in private to be upset. It's okay to put on a front that you are happy for the public, which is not okay. It's better just to be yourself and be honest with yourself and the people around you. And yeah, it just doesn't help to be living two different lives, one in private and one in public, because eventually things will come out and you will realize how unhappy you are. And it's bad to live your life in a very unhealthy mindset and feeling like you have to put on a front for the public. It makes you an unhappy person, and that's not the way people should be living.